look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Act like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. This is Jackson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. On the ground, it's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
When you think of Jamal Charles, you think of speed. Pure lightning, absolutely electric. And sometimes with those speed guys, the ball can get away from their body a little bit when they're carrying it, and some fumbles can result.
They were able to jar it loose there. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll run it with Jackson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Kaepernick again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st down, Kaepernick going underneath for Charles. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. They run it. It's Charles. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jamal Charles, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game. It's a foot race. The 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
To throw is Kaepernick. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
He's got his man on the crossing route. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Kaepernick, Goodwin able to haul it in. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Kaepernick now on 1st down. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop.
And a big one loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Bioski, maybe not a touchdown.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Cooper was the target there. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ohio! Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Kaepernick going to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have...
Oh, a miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. It's a nice little juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for them.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They give him a gain of 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free. Yeah. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 21. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 36. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Well, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And down he'll go at the 25. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight end.
Jamal Charles, nobody in front. The 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Jamal Charles, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the 49ers get a score closer. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they try the right side here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Malcolm Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? You keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Ohio!
Kaepernick now on 1st down. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Kaepernick to throw on 2nd down. And Davis with it left side. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Into the red zone now. Kaepernick throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll let Charles try and get him in. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Jamal Charles taking it in from a yard out. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They run again with Johnson. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Shakes off the sack. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They begin the drive with Charles. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Again, it's Charles. Fancy footwork by Charles. Jamal Charles, nobody in front. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Jamal Charles with his 4th touchdown of the ball game. One shy of his career high. And the Niners are a point away from leading this game. And it's up and good. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
No, check.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And they'll run it here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. They'll look to throw. Escape, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. And his kick is indeed good. And they have regained the lead. A lot of scoring. There's no